I'm somebody who's more than happy to get involved in the China chat, calling them out for this, that and the other. But I think, yet again, we've seen another example of a top person inside our military openly talking about a hot war with China. Put simply, we're going to pull our heads in from this concept about literally bullets flying from Australia towards Chinese soldiers or the other way around, be it here or be it in places like Taiwan, don't we?
Well, Dwight Eisenhower spoke about the industrial military complex, and in his outgoing speech in 1960 as president said this was the great danger, that there was a whole bunch of people in that Cold War environment then against the old Soviet Union who wanted a war, who needed a war, and as an old general himself, he cautioned against that. And this has got to be the right approach for Australia. Of course, we have to distance ourselves from China. The relationship seemingly won't be close again. And areas of over-reliance like Belt and Road, the Port of Darwin, university student numbers from China, and income in general in the university sector, these are important areas of disengagement. But, what worries me, Paul, is that in the case of Vietnam, Australia walked and talked itself into a conflict that essentially led nowhere. And Vietnam today is a peaceful trading nation, unified. And then I was in the Parliament and spoke strongly against how Australia walked and talked itself into the war in Iraq. Again, for no purpose. In fact, that war made the international terrorism situation worse, and the region still suffers from the instability of that foolhardy invasion. So Australia has a track record in my lifetime of foreign adventurism and wanting and needing war that has been tragic in the loss of the life of our young people and the distraction from our real national security interests. Now, we need firm evidence about China. And with regard to Taiwan, this is an old issue. I can remember when Rich Armitage came out as Bush's Deputy Secretary of State and tried to stir up the Australian scene to say 20 years ago that we needed to get ready for war over the Straits of Taiwan. And this is again the hypothetical situation. Well, look, we just need level-headed people, the adults in the room, not those who live and breathe and want a war that, of course, they don't fight. It's the easiest thing in the world to send young men off when the old dudes making these decisions never run the risk of shedding a drop of blood. And someone like Peter Jennings, who I think you've got on the program later on, how's he got any credibility? He was one of those who walked and talked us into Iraq with disastrous circumstances, and everything he says is pro-war. This guy's never seen a war that he didn't like, but never seen a war that he personally would fight. So look, we've got to be cautious about this, level-headed, yes, stand up to China, but not be so foolish as to repeat the folly of Vietnam and Iraq.